and
Oh
then
yeah.
they attach themselves to that thing of I'm unlovable. I'm never going to meet somebody.
Hmm.
Maybe it's something they've never been caught for, and they can't go to their mother or their sister or whoever and say I did X. How do
Yep.
we come to terms with that? Because I find a lot of guys write to me and say I've got secrets that I can never tell, and I'm like,
Hmm.
it doesn't make you a bad person. You did a bad thing, but it doesn't make you a bad person. But I never know how to. I don't know, like how do we start dealing with that so they can learn that they can be loved? Because I'm sure that creates its own attachment problems.
Oh, it cycles right in with whatever attachment problems were there in the first place, usually. Absolutely. Um, I will say this. Most people don't know this about me, but my earliest work in psychology was working with death penalty inmates.
Hmm.
People, I was placed in one of the worst facilities in the United States, for people up for the death penalty for multiple and most hardcore, brutal murders you can imagine. So I was used to working with people who had murdered people, and many of them did repent, and they were truly horrified at what they had done after the fact,
Yeah.
and they were haunted by it, and they'd be stuck in their cell just thinking about it, and they'd pull them out once a week to have a session with me, and it was trying to piece these men back together just for whatever time they had left on this earth. And I've worked with a number of correctional facility, correctional cases and inmates and former inmates and all kinds of people who've done wrong things and truly were sorry for them, but were haunted by them. So if anyone listening to this has killed less than 10 people, I have experience working with people worse than you. So this is what I tell them. Number one, this won't make it easier, but it is a truth that needs to be acknowledged. If you are horrified by what you did, then you are no longer the kind of person who could do what you did. You are now a different person. Keep that in mind, as horrified as you are by that experience. If you would rather die than do it again, then you are now a person who would rather die than do what you did. So you are already fundamentally different than you were then. As far as living to it and making amends, there is something called living amends is the only real thing that you can do. Make what you did mean something so that someday, if you meet that person or you meet their family or you meet them in the afterlife, you could say, here is the story did not end there.
Mhm.
Here is what that did for the rest of the story for all the people in my life, all the people I met, all the things that I did were impacted by it, and it meant something. I am not here to say it meant it made up for it, but it meant something and it brought so much good to other people. That is even further proof that you have lived a life around goodness instead of a life around what you were. Now, you could give up. You could just say, there's too much work. I can't undo it. No, you can't. But what you can do is take that thing that happened and help 10 other human beings across the course of your life whose life is fundamentally better because of that terrible thing that happened. You can transform 10 other lives in any fashion,
Mhm.
10 other lives, change their lives, and it doesn't make up for the one life you hurt, but it means something. Live to that purpose until the end of your life and help as many people as you can so that you can hold your head up. And at least then you have a chance to forgive yourself for the goodness that you did for those people. And maybe you'll receive forgiveness from the person that you did that for because it meant something.
I love that because, like, I was always amazed that these guys could write to me, but they couldn't tell the person that was closest to them. And I mean, we've all done stupid things and bad things, and
Yeah.
and it's getting to that. It was getting to that point of like they were like, "Well, I don't see myself as valuable. I may as well just jump off a bridge." And I was just like, and I probably wasn't as great as helpful as I could have been now after
Oh, no,
interviewing
yeah.
amazing
It's
guys
hard.
like you.